Hello! Welcome to the inside of my dryer. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to show you a quick way to clean out the inside of your dryer to get all that lint out. We don't like fires, and all that lint is combustible. And the last thing we want is a fire because we didn't do the minimal amount of cleaning that was necessary. So we're going to take it a little bit further than minimal, because the minimal is clean this thing out. That's very minimal. There's a lot that's below that that you're going to want to clean out of that, so that you get, first of all, more efficiency out of your dryer. So you're not going to take as much energy or gas, if you have electric or gas, to clean your clothes, and it'll just dry them a lot better. Second is, it's a safety issue. So last thing you want is a fire in your house. It's coming up in the holidays, and you know what happens. Every year you hear about someone's house burning, and you don't want it to be yours. So let me show you what we're going to do. Okay, so at the bare minimum, every time you put in a new load in, you should pull this out and make sure that you get all the lint out of there. So if you're doing towels or you're doing sheets, this thing is going to be packed full like a fur rug. And that's at the very minimum is you want to do that. But look down inside here. You'll see how much more lint, garbage, it's just dirty. So you want to get that all out of there. This minimum is not enough, so you want to take it another step further. Each dryer is a little bit different, so this one's a little bit different. Some of them you can remove a couple screws from the inside, and you can pull this whole kind of front, like kind of netted area, this plastic netted area out, and you can get in there really deep into there. This one you can't, so we don't want to dismantle our whole dryer. We want to show you something that you can do without taking apart everything and taking screws out of something that's expensive. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is a long-handled screwdriver, or a hanger, or a paint stick, something that you can actually get down in there with to make sure everything's cleaned out. Of course, you want everything, you want it turned off, you want to unplug it, you want to make sure you do your safety checks and that sort of thing first. But you're going to need this. You'll need a microfiber cloth. This is just a small, dirty one that we use for cleaning. And then we're going to use a little blue electrical tape as well. So what we're going to do with ours is we're going to wrap this microfiber cloth over top of our screwdriver. And we don't want a lot of tape on it, of course. You want a little bit of tape, but we just want to make sure that we don't drop the microfiber cloth in there. So we're just going to kind of wrap it up here. And once we kind of get what we think is a decent enough wrap on it, we're going to throw a little bit of tape on the outside of it. Obviously, you want to use the microfiber is what's going to actually get all that lint out of there. So you can see we kept as much microfiber cloth as we could. We put a little tape on the top so we could actually get it in there. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to work it in there and try to get as much loose as you can. So a couple things with this. So one is you're going to loosen as much as you can. You're going to try to get as much up as you can with your microfiber cloth. You can try to get your hands in there a little bit to pull some of the lint out of there if you can, just to get as much out of there as we possibly can. And then we're going to try to take our vacuum and get all the extra little dust and things like that we can out of there. But you can see, look at that. Just from like scraping a little bit with your screwdriver and microfiber cloth, you can get it up against that grate, get as much off there as you can, work your way up, and then just get your hands in there, pull out. And this is after we clean. The minimal cleaning that we showed you earlier, we do that every single time. Every time we do our dryer, we do that, but you can see all the lint and stuff that's coming off there still. So get as much of that loose as you possibly can. Pull as much of that out of there as you can. And this is without taking any real screws out of it or taking it apart. You could do a deep clean with it, right? And do that, but really this is without having to really, take things apart and things like that, which a lot of people don't want to do, especially when it comes to expensive dryers and refrigerators or other appliances. Okay, now that we got everything out of there with kind of using our screwdriver method and or paint stick method, if you want to do that, and microfiber cloth, we did that. Now we're going to try to vacuum up everything that we loosened out. So depending what you got, shop vac with an attachment for cleaning cars is probably a little bit better. We're going to use our house vacuum that has this, which is a little bit narrower, that we can actually fit down in there. So you can see we can fit that down in there. We're going to vacuum as much out of there as we can. Okay, and if you don't get quite deep enough in there, you can use like a hanger from a dry cleaner or old plastic hanger or even a wire hanger. Just try not to make sure you don't use something that you're going to get hooked down there. And it gets you a little bit deeper down into that kind of trough area to get some of that lint that's kind of way down in there. And again, just work it up until you get it up as far as you can. And you can use your screwdriver or microcloth to get it out again, but you can see how much more I'm getting out of there now. Just to get a little bit deeper in there. So you can see how this would prevent drying of clothes. And that's the little bit deeper, just getting down in there. And the more you loosen, the better it's going to be too for your vacuum, just to kind of vacuum it out of there. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is just loosen it, bring it more up to the top where I can get my vacuum back in there and suck up all this stuff out of there. After this was completely clean, this is the additional lint that we pulled out by just using, you know, a hanger to get in there a little bit, and basically just, or a paint stick or something just to get in there a little bit, to scrape out some of it, and then we vacuumed out of there too. So that's not counting what we already put into the vacuum by sticking a handle in there and just kind of sucking up as much as we possibly can. So obviously this isn't perfect. We'll show you another video where we take the dryer apart, we pull this piece out, we clean it from top to bottom on the inside, we can wipe it all out, make it look like new in there. But this will get you by. This is better than just doing the minimum. This is like doing the second step, which is a lot better. You can see how much better. And then we'll show you the complete step in a future video. So that's it. Subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time. Please do this. You limit the fire hazard in your house. This is highly combustible lint, you know, dryer thing. Actually look externally too to make sure that your vent is actually going to the outside. We just literally were staying in a VRBO, and the dryer vent was so packed full that it actually blew off, and all the lint was going inside the dryer room and inside the house. So clearly a big safety hazard. So please clean out not only this minimum amount every time you switch loads, but clean this out. I'd look at it once a month and you'll be much safer.